Adam Larson goes through a bit of it because he was the player that was traded for Taylor Hall. Ryan Strome is the player that was traded for Jordan Eberle. Do you find that these things can have an effect on players? I think that Ryan has maybe handled that.
I think it's always a difficult thing to play against your original team. Ryan's gone through that once, obviously, on the island, and that was more home for him at that time. So he's experienced it once. Jordan coming home here will experience it his own way. But there's always comparisons made. Both teams are on the outside looking in. Neither of them want to be where they are right now. Each of the players has had their own season, and there's no doubt that comparisons will be drawn between the players. Yet they're completely different players. They're on teams for different reasons, and we're happy with the one they have, and I know Jordan obviously very well. He's a great individual, and I know they're happy with the one they have.
Todd, the players take a while to figure out their role in their career. They all come in as first-line centers, and eventually some of them become second, third, and fourth. And I think your team had to figure out what Ryan Strome is. Have we maybe hit the intersection where you've got it figured out what you want him to do, and he's got it figured out what his career goal could be?
I think that's a fair assessment or statement. It's hard when you come in as a top 5, 7, 10 pick. You're expected to produce like Connor does, or like Leon, or Patrick Laine, Matthews, those type of guys. You can go on and on. And you're usually evaluated based on numbers. So in Ryan's case, his numbers aren't that significant, so there in turn becomes a negative feel around him. And we expected him to produce when he came in here, not certainly at that level, but even there we didn't get enough from him, and it began to feel negative. I think over the last month and a little, when we put him in the middle, when he's continually commanded his own line, maybe not been up in the top 6, but in the 7, 8, 9 role. I thought he's contributed well. We've given more defensive responsibilities with some penalty kill, and I think we've seen his best hockey in the past 3 weeks to a month.
Drake Caggiula takes off the full shield to fight Max Domi. What do you think in turn that?
Well, it was an interesting set of events. First of all, Max didn't know what happened prior to that, and I think he took it out on Drake. That was the wrong guy. I think Drake was surprised by it. I think the fact that Max was looking for a fight and he picked Drake surprised him. He had the shield on, so he took it off just to be honorable. But, other than that, that was the extent of the event, and we moved on. Would they give him double minors? I don't even think it was a fight. Yeah.
Because they didn't want, they were cutting him a break for taking off his mask.
Yeah.
So in Strome's case, he says he played center all through junior, but when he got to the NHL, he said, "No, you're a right winger." So do you have to relearn what you are if you've pretty much been a winger throughout your?
I think I would rather take the player that has played center ice for a lot of time and put him on the wing, than vice versa, bringing the winger and teaching him how to play in the middle. I think once you've played center ice, you realize there's a lot more skating to it. There's more responsibility. You're playing all 4 corners versus 2 for the most part, and your responsibility down low is greater than anybody that's covering the points if you are the center in the low slot area. So, for Ryan, not having played there as much is one thing, but having done it in the past certainly would help him.
And Jesse, you like him better on the left side? Like Ryan says, he opens up for a shot. He's playing the other side, and so many Europeans can play the offside.
Yeah, and he's done that. Even the power play goal that he scored, he was on that offside. He was able to load and shoot. That doesn't mean he doesn't create scoring chances, streaking down the wing and shooting from the strong side, but I think he's got a knack of releasing the puck from that offside where it can fool a few goaltenders. A lot of players are scoring now from that area on their off wing, so let's give him a chance and see where it goes.
Ethan Bear, plan to play him at least one more game, a couple more games, or is there a plan?
Well, we've got Lars back now, so we're going up to 8 defensemen, which is not ideal for a couple of them. But Ethan has played well. He probably deserves another opportunity to continue on here. What we want him thinking is that he's here full time. We want him to approach the games, the practices like he belongs here, and let us make the decisions on when he does or does not play.
Cass seemed to be back in.
Yeah, there's a good chance he will be.
Just back to Jesse really quick. You know, they're really high-end offensive players that you could be playing him with, but they always play against the other team's best. You play him down in the lineup, he maybe can drive his own line, and the competition's a little bit different. How do you weigh out where the best spot is for Jesse and the decisions you're making with him right now?
Well, we've upped his power play time, so he gets to play there. We've put him on the off wing, and when you do that, you're taking him out of maybe a position he's comfortable in and putting him in one that he isn't. Therefore, we'd like not to have him on the ice against the other team's top D pairings and lines, and I think it's worked. I feel that Stromer and him have had some unity, or you know, they read off of each other on the line, so that's strong. And you know, just the momentum that line has right now, we want to keep it together.
Is this maintenance for Lucic?
No, Luch is sick today, so he'll be questionable for tomorrow, and we'll see how he is.